Lawrence Shankland has a big decision to make, and that decision will reportedly be made over the next few days. Will he remain at Hearts, or will he move on and find a new club? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Shankland has a big decision to make. Is he going to sign a new contract? Is he going to stay at Hearts for the upcoming 2025-2026 season? Or is he going to move on to a new club? Hearts are currently in a new era. Derek McInnes has come in. They've got the Tony Bloom analytics. The Tony Bloom investment is completed. That £10 million cash injection. It's exciting times as the club want to grow. They want to push on. They want to consolidate themselves as the third best team in Scotland. And just like Tony Bloom said, eventually they are looking to end the stranglehold that the old firm have at the top of Scottish football. Tony Bloom wants to get involved there. He wants to break that. He wants to take Hearts to the top. So it is an interesting time to be at Hearts, and I think that Shankland should consider that with his decision. But we'll see what you guys think. 880 votes. 38% are saying that Shankland will stay at Hearts, and 62% are saying that Shankland will leave. So the majority saying that Shankland will either leave or that he should leave. I think when you look at the season he had last year, it might actually give him a chance to stay, because going into the final year, and the fact he never signed a contract, I think we just all assumed that he would leave and he'd get a better offer. I don't even know what that was. It was supposed to be leave, but that he would go and maybe get a better offer, bigger club or whatnot, better club, more money, maybe Rangers, maybe Championship, maybe somewhere else. We don't know, but we expected him to go. But then obviously the season Hearts had was an absolute mess. For Naismith, then to Critchley. Shankland could not score. He wasn't even playing in his own position. He was been playing pretty much everywhere but up front. And Hearts had a disaster, finished in the bottom six. Shankland didn't score many goals until the end, where he was put back up front. And that's when we started to see Shankland score goals. Now, I think the fact he had a poor season might have put clubs off coming in for him, because previously, the previous two seasons, he had back-to-back 20-plus goal-scoring seasons in the league. Had he done that for a third season in a row, there is no doubt in my mind that there would have been big offers coming in. There would have been clubs interested in taking Lawrence Shankland. But because his third season was bad and the numbers were poor, it may have put clubs off. And I think that's gave Hearts a good chance of actually keeping him. Had he had another fantastic standout season, I think he'd be gone right now. We wouldn't even be asking this question. But because for the majority of his third season at Hearts, he was pretty poor, it's gave him a chance. It's gave Hearts a chance of being able to hold on to him. So let's get into the comments and let's see what you guys are saying. But 62% are saying that Shankland will leave Hearts. I Hate Hearts says he's only going to stay if his options are shit. He will then claim he never wanted to leave Hearts. Is he really only going to leave if his options are shit? I'm sure he will have some decent options out there, but there's no doubt that he would have better options and more options had he not had that poor season. LGCFC says, fuck him, he's a mutant. I mean, he's a good player. It is what it is. He's a good goal scorer. I don't know why people are denying it. LF67 Hail 28 says he's busted flush now. He had one good season and is deteriorating. Missed his big move opportunity last year. I'd be surprised if Rangers still want it. He had back-to-back 20-plus goal seasons, so, I mean, to say it's just one good season, obviously not true. Neil Burns said he's been waiting for the correct regime to be installed at Rangers. Now that has happened, they should be able to come to some sort of agreement with Hearts in order to secure the signing of Lawrence Shankland. Shankland was always a Rangers fan, and I don't really think there was much danger of him ever going to Celtic, but the only thing that would have stopped a move to Ibrox would have been him staying at Hearts or perhaps joining an English club. I understand that McInnes will be reluctant to see him go, but he himself is of course a former Rangers player and will completely understand that, I am sure. I'm sure he could understand it to a degree, but McInnes will want to keep Shankland for his own selfish reasons. He ain't going to be like, well, I don't mind if he goes because I'm a Rangers fan and he can make Rangers better. He ain't going to say that. McInnes will want to be. He has to get this. He has to get this stint at Hearts correct. You know, he got sacked for Aberdeen. Kilmarnock, he did a good job, but then ended on a low. This is a big time. This is a make or break, I think, spell for Derek McInnes' career. He will need to do well at Hearts, and he's got a good chance. He's a better chance at least of doing a good job if we see Lawrence Shankland with him at Hearts, no doubt about it. So he will want to hold on to him for sure. RW says, can see him leaving, don't know where though. Padraig says, Sevco can't afford. I mean, yeah. how much is free? You know, how much is free? And we all know that Sevco have money, Rangers have money anyway, so what's it matter? Matthew Miles, people couldn't care less about the fat wee Hearts guy. Maybe some English bar steward could take him. Racist alleged Gorgie. Aye, well, maybe he will go to some English bastard down south. Maybe. Griffin Sean says, going nowhere. No one wants him, it seems. Gary Herd says, from a Hearts fan, he has been rotten all season. Take him. I disagree. I mean, he has been rotten, but one bad season doesn't make a bad player. If one bad season makes a bad player, then doesn't that mean, using that logic, if one bad season makes a bad player, then a good season should make a good player. And Shankland's had 2 good seasons at Hearts compared to his one bad season. So if we're using that logic based on just seasons, then Shankland should be a good player because he's had more good than bad at Hearts. You know, God Street Messenger said he's a horrendous Barnett, fuck me, it's just disappeared for me, or a heat like a 50p, and he's had his 5 minutes years ago. If he moves, it won't be spectacular. He's a perennial transfer story that never goes anywhere and never seems to go away either. I mean, I guess, kinda. He is always being talked about for a move, but so far hasn't moved for Hearts. 1888 says, don't care, irrelevant. Cared enough to comment. Gillian Stalker says, definitely a bad move if Rangers went for him. He's overweight and too slow. I mean, he can lose that weight very quickly. And his speed's never been his game, you know. Speed's not his number one thing. He's a fucking goal scorer. And at the end of the day, who cares whether it's a fast or a slow goal scorer? Some guy that can put the ball in the back of the net is definitely worth having at your club. Karma Cop says, Celtic bench boy. Peter Shields, we don't want him, thankfully, going down south. Baboon Man says, from a well fan, I'd be very surprised if Rangers still want him after that season. I mean, it was one bad season. Let's not, define the guy by having a below par season where, to be honest, the entire Hearts team are shite. And maybe instead of bashing Shankland, we should be bashing everybody. But bashing the management, because it's not like Shankland was awful, but everyone else was decent. It's far from that. Got to defend him here. Russell Muir couldn't care less as long as Rangers don't get him. John says Rangers would be an excellent move for Shankland. Stephen Bain, Rangers ain't interested in Shankland. Never said that they were. Andrew Forrester, he wasn't on the training pitch. Give him till Friday before they go to Spain, or make his mind up for him. Leave him on runway. Let him go. Don't waste any more time. Get GTA looking now. Jamestown Analytics. But yeah, listen, this Shankland thing, I don't think we can let it continue for much longer. Apparently he will make his decision over the next few days. And we need to see that decision. And that's it. If he wants to stay, then great. If he doesn't, then piss off. But it needs to be made, and it needs to be made quickly. Can't let this drag on much longer. And finally, James Fulton says, the question is, where to? Do Glasgow Rangers need him? Honestly, I think Rangers should swerve him, as there are better players out there looking for a club. But only time will tell. But Rangers can get this guy for free, so, I mean, is it really worth not taking a chance on the guy? And I don't think his wages would be that much. He wouldn't be one of the higher paid players at Rangers, that's for sure. David says, could Rangers afford him? Could Rangers afford him? Funny guy. James Fulton says, they could, but he's a flash in the pan at the end of his contract. The real question is, why do they want him? And the answer is no. There are better out there and better at the Clun. Alright, well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I think that Shankland would be... I don't know if he'd be a good signing for Rangers, but I think he's worth taking a chance on. I certainly don't see why you wouldn't take an opportunity, take a punt on him. What could go wrong? Yeah, you're stuck paying his wages, but come on, Rangers are stuck paying Danilo's wages and the guy's always injured, the guy never plays. I think that Shankland would certainly... I think Shankland scores more goals than Danilo for sure. I don't think he's a bad option to have at the club. So, yeah, Rangers fans saying they don't want him, but for free... And the fact that he's proven that he can score goals in Scotland. I mean, he's had 2 20-plus goal seasons back to back at Hearts. If he can do that at Hearts, if you then insert him into a Rangers team with Russell Martin's attacking style of play and a Rangers team that should have better players than Hearts and be better overall, then wouldn't that mean he should probably score more goals than he already scores at Hearts if you put him in a Rangers team? And he already has a very impressive record at Hearts, as long as you don't count, this last season, which was a disaster all round. So I think Rangers should take a chance on him. But I hope he stays. Hope he stays at Hearts. Either way, will he be in Scottish football? I'm not convinced. I think he's probably going to be in the Championship. That would be my guess, but we'll see what happens, guys. That's it. Till next time, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.